that chase position as possible can be a little difficult chasing down a slower vehicle. But as you can see in the instant replay, he's done an amazing job filling out that complete outside zone, the first outside zone. Smooth transition, Hurst is pretty good. Whatever you can to try to apply that pressure and stay in the pocket. Savio about 590 horsepower. Obviously sponsored by Drift HQ, Spectrum Silver Suspension, and Cosmos Race Wheels. Been drifting for about 8 years and is always down to party. This guy knows how to get rowdy, as does Rhys Conklin. Here we go. Savio will lead. Rhys Conklin will give chase. About a 150, 200 horsepower difference between the two vehicles. Let's see how it goes down this time as Savio's out front. Savio not quite as high on the wall as Rhys was on his lead run, but able to put a little gap between the two drivers. Savio really laying down the hammer. As you can see him almost completely fill out that second outside zone. Rhys doing whatever he can to try to apply that pressure. Conklin doing an amazing job. Wow, he's like right there with them as they make their way off the course. Give it up for Savio Silva and Rhys Conklin. All right, watching that instant replay, you can see Savio, nice initiation on the wall, kind of falling midline, halfway through that first outside zone. But as he makes his way through the center section of the course, steps away. Top 32 shaping up to be an exciting battle. All right, we got Brian Hop out there and Napier in the chase position as both drivers make their way down the straight. Wow, Hop is way out front and really doing an excellent job in that lead position. Napier is trying to close that gap as they make their way through the center section. But look at Hop, man. Hop is all in that second outside zone. Nice commanding lead. Napier doing everything he can to try to close that gap, and unfortunately, too little, too late. Just not able to apply the pressure he needed to. As you can see in the instant replay, Brian Hop out there doing an amazing job working his way throughout the course. Brian Hop from Villanova, Pennsylvania, with about 650 horsepower. Definitely able to put that horsepower down. He did an excellent job around the course. Both drivers are back up to the line. Here is going to lead, and Hop will give chase. Hop much closer in the chase position. Whoa, Hop surging forward on initiation, trying to apply all that pressure, doing an excellent job, making sure his presence is felt as both drivers make their way through the first transition into the second outside zone. Napier doing a pretty good job. Like to see him a little deeper through that second outer zone, but oh, there you go. Now he's getting in that outer zone. Both final transition, and Hop is just all over the door of Napier as they make their way off the course. All right, looks like Brian Hop gets the win. Brian Hop gets the win, going to advance on to the top 16 later on this evening. Napier, unfortunately, just wasn't, I just don't think he was aggressive or close enough in the chase position. I think that's ultimately what gave Hop the advantage to be able to take that win today. So give it up for Hop as he advances on. It looks like we already have Connor O'Sully is going to get a bye run. Apparently, Cody Doyle had a mechanical failure. Cody Doyle from Cleveland, North Carolina, has suffered some damage to his vehicle, unable to get it repaired, and then basically forfeiting this battle to Conroe Sully. Conroe Sully is definitely one of the competitors you want to keep your eyes on. Conroe Sully coming into us from Friendsville, Tennessee in that BMW E46 with about 700 horsepower, utilizing those GT radial tires to get all that power down to the tarmac. Sponsored by RTS, ATS, AZ Rack Wrap, Holley. Some of the few partners that have joined him to build his program. He said he wants you guys to check him out. Check out Conroe Sully on Instagram and YouTube for all his latest content. And up at the track right now, it looks like we got Jonathan Hurst in the Cadillac. He's going to be leading first. He's going to be chased down by Kabott Cardoso. Jonathan Hurst, our 5th place qualifier. Kabott, our 28th place qualifier. Kabott in that green liveried Bell Raceworks 350Z. Jonathan had, he's been doing some heater runs in practice, and definitely it looks like he's going to be somebody that is able to take the #1 spot. You can't sleep on Kabott Cardoso. Kabott Cardoso has known to be extremely aggressive in the chase position. Both drivers locked and loaded, ready to go. All right, Jonathan Hurst from Paducah, Kentucky. In that Cadillac XLR LS power with about 1,000 horsepower, burning through those Kenda tires. Here we go, Jonathan Hurst out front, Kabott Cardoso in the chase position. Both drivers rocketing down the straight. Look at Kabott Cardoso already in attack mode as they make their way through that first outside zone. Jonathan Hurst doing an excellent job in that lead position, completely filling out that first outside zone. Both drivers transitioning to the second outside zone. Kabott Cardoso really trying to make his presence felt as they work their way through that second outer zone. Final transition in a third. Whoa, Kabott! I talked about that a little earlier. He can be extremely aggressive. Unfortunately, a little too aggressive in the chase position was Kabott Cardoso. Kabott Cardoso, like I said, he's from Bridgeboro, Georgia, in a Nissan 350Z. About 610 horsepower, also running GT radial tires. Sponsored by Bell Raceworks Prime Energy Solutions. You can find him on Instagram at Dirty E30 Drifting on Instagram. Kabott Cardoso, only 19 years old, one of the younger drivers out here. Jonathan Hurst will chase, and Kabott Cardoso will lead this time around. So far, I'm safe to assume Jonathan Hurst sitting on an advantage. So can Kabott Cardoso put down a stellar lead run and force a mistake from Jonathan Hurst? Well, I guess we're going to find that out shortly. All right, both drivers rocketing down the straight, coming down the straightway, ready to attack that first outside zone. Kabott Cardoso almost right on the wall on initiation. Jonathan Hurst side by side, angle with angle as they make their way through that first outside zone, transitioning to the second outer zone. Jonathan Hurst starting to dive in for the attack. I know he probably feels he already has the advantage, but he doesn't want to give Kabott Cardoso too much space. If Jonathan Hurst can get a full pull, I think it's safe to say that even though that was an excellent run by Kabott Cardoso, Jonathan Hurst will most likely advance. As I wait to hear from the judges, watch this replay in the live stream. And yeah, there you go. I'm getting word from the judges. Jonathan Hurst is going to advance on. Kabott Cardoso, I guess you can kind of say he almost took himself out, getting a little too aggressive in the chase position. Jonathan Hurst from Paducah, Kentucky. Like I said, about 1,000 horsepower. Sponsored by Disc Pool, Kenda Tire, and FDF. He will advance on to the top 16. And it looks like we have Derek Carter and Jack Davis at the line right now. Derek Carter will be leading. Derek Carter qualified 12th. Jack Davis qualifying 21st. Derek Carter, also known as Drip Daddy, coming to us from Liberty, Tennessee. In his Nissan 240SX. He's got about 550 horsepower, utilizing the Zeke Nova tire, sponsored by LS Acceleration. graphic effects, Cosmos Race Wheels. You can find him at DriftDaddy86 on Instagram. Derek Carter says he's here. He says he does it for his kids, Braden, Kai, Briggs, and his smoking hot wife, Kelly. Shout out to all his friends and family that are watching him on the live stream and those that are here today. Derek Carter will lead. Jack Davis will give it a chase. Both drivers making their way down the straight. Derek Carter definitely looks like he has the power to attack that first outside zone. Nice, right on the wall as Derek attacks that first outside zone. Davis starting to reel him in towards the end of the first outside zone. Both drivers making that smooth transition into the second outer zone. Oh, Davis starting to apply that pressure, make his presence felt as both drivers attack that second outside zone. Final transition, Davis diving in for the attack as both drivers make their way off the course. Give it up for Derek Carter and Jack Davis. Wow. Watching this replay on the live stream, you can see that Carter was able to surge forward and create a little space between the two drivers. But Davis, as they approach that second outside zone, really surging forward, able to close that gap. Excellent job. In the chase position, Jack Davis coming to us from Bixby, Oklahoma in that BMW E36. Sponsored by Doege, FDF Race Fab, BC Racing, and Souvenir Motorsports. We've got that Thompson Motorsport LS, the 950 horsepower, burning through those GT radial tires. Been drifting for about 10 years, he says. And he's here to throw down. Here we go. Davis out front, Carter not too far behind as both drivers initiate to that. Whoa, look at Carter! Already applying the pressure, but oh no, dropping back, making a major correction. That may be what seals his fate. Can Carter get back in the pocket? Oh my goodness. Davis is just on point, extremely consistent. Derek Carter trying to apply that pressure early on. May have just taken himself out of competition. Watch the replay. You see Davis really initiating right on that wall, doing a great job placing the vehicle where it needs to be. Derek Carter just making too much of a correction. Get word from the judges. Jack Davis, taking pictures, we find him at Jack_Davis_. That is going to be one more time in the plot thickens. So we'll have to revisit that battle between Davis and Carter. Will be a one more time. Right now at the line we have Ethan Parnell in the lead lane. Kegan Leep will be chasing him down in that line. CT Billet Racing 350Z. Ethan Parnell definitely has the ability to take home the #1 spot, as does Kegan Leep as they make their way through that first outside zone. Kegan Leep, I'd like to see him a little closer in that chase position. Let's see if he starts surging forward for the attack, and looks like he is. Ethan Parnell doing an excellent job filling out the course completely from side to side as both drivers make that final. Whoa! Kegan coming in hot, tapping Ethan Parnell, not phasing Ethan Parnell, but we'll have to see if Ethan needs to take any look at his vehicle. A lot of times what happens when there is a collision during the competition, the judges will have to decide who may have been at fault. If the driver that got, had contact, if he was not deemed at fault, they will allow him time to repair or at least look over his vehicle to make sure it is at 100%. Unfortunately, Kegan Leep getting very aggressive. We've seen that before in the past. A little too much aggression, can bite you in the end. You can basically take yourself out of competition. We already saw that with Cardoso earlier. But I guess he feels like he's ready to do battle. Kegan Leep pulls up to the line. Kegan Leep's going to lead this time. Ethan Parnell will give chase. Kegan Leep from Grand Rapids, Michigan. About 400 horsepower, sponsored by ICT Billet. He said they're a huge sponsor, and he's so happy that they have joined him to be able to do events like this. But look at Kegan Leep. Nice aggressive initiation through that first outside zone. Ethan Parnell is all over his door through that first outside zone already as they make that transition into the second outer zone. Kegan doing a good job getting nice. Whoa, no! Oh, no! What is going on? Ethan Parnell straightening out, pulling off the course. One can only hope it's not a mechanical failure. We watched the replay. Kegan Leep all over that first outside zone. Ethan Parnell extremely aggressive, doing what he needs to do to try to take out his opponent. Well, the plot thickens. Battle after battle. Anything can happen here in a drift competition. Looks like I'm getting word. Ethan Parnell from Thomaston, Georgia will advance on in that last battle. Taking out Kegan Leep. Kegan Leep from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Again, sponsored by ICT Billet. We'll have to call it a day, unfortunately. I did want to mention and shout out to Rachel, Kegan's wife, battling cancer. We definitely want to support her. Hashtag Rachel Strong. And they're also selling shirts to support her as well. But let's move on to the next battle. We got Dirk Stratton out front. Dirk Stratton and Doege in the chase position. Dirk Stratton way out front. I don't even see both drivers in the camera. Dirk Stratton is looking for that number one spot. He's been fighting for it. He definitely wants to take home the number one spot. He wants to take out Jonathan Nairn. Last year, Dirk Stratton kind of took himself out of competition by getting a little too aggressive. But right now, it's going to be a close one here. Well, actually, Blake Doege is really going to have to step up his game because he fell way back in the chase position. Doege from Mansville, Ohio, and blue Nissan 240SX, about 630 horsepower. Sponsored by Holley, Rhino Straps, Zignova, Custom Threads, and Hawk Performance. Right now, it's Dirk Stratton definitely seems to have the advantage. Dirk Stratton coming to us from Salem, Ohio, in that Chevy Corvette. Both drivers making their way down the straight. Doege out front. Looks like he's initiating. Dirk Stratton right there with him, step by step. As Blake fills out that first outside zone pretty well. Dirk Stratton is all over his back bumper as the drivers transition into that second outside zone. Dirk Stratton right there with Blake side by side. Nice matching his angle as they make that final transition. Blake Doege out front and Dirk Stratton. Give it up for these two drivers as they're battling their way to the top 16. Now you guys are watching the instant replay. It does look like Blake kind of slowed up right after initiation, but did a great job in the lead position. But I did get word, it looks like Dirk Stratton's going to advance on. Dirk Stratton will advance on to this evening's competition, top 16. All right, next up at the line, I do believe have Grant Anderson. Grant Anderson did that red BMW. He will lead. And Elliott will give chase. Jacob Elliott from Clarksville, Tennessee, that Nissan 240SX. Grant Anderson, that BMW E36. About 400 horsepower utilizing those Accelera tires. Try to pave his way to victory. All right, here we go. Grant Anderson out front. Wow, Grant Anderson really putting a gap between him and Elliott as Grant Anderson attacks that first outside zone. Wow, really used a lot of angle there. Coming out of that first outside zone, a little shallow, allowing Elliott to get back up in the pocket as they attack that second outside zone. Grant Anderson doing an awesome job filling out that second outside zone. Elliott running very shallow line, trying to close that proximity. We want to see these cars side by side as they make their way off the course. Give it up for Grant Anderson. and Elliott as they make their way off the course. Jacob Elliott from Clarksville, Tennessee. Out here, you can find them on social media at JE_Drift160. Jacob wanted to make sure we let everybody know that we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. If you know a veteran, check on them. If you are a veteran, reach out and check on your battle buddy. Very important. Support our vets. They take care of us so we can have a beautiful day of racing just like this. All right, Elliott out front. Grant Anderson in the chase position. Grant Anderson almost on the back bumper of Elliott as they initiate through that first outside zone. Grant Anderson trying to apply that pressure as they make their way through that first outside zone. Both cars about to transition. Nice smooth transition. Grant Anderson diving in for the attack once again as Elliott's doing whatever he can to put the car where it needs to be, running a nice wide line. Both drivers making that transition. Elliott out front in that gray Nissan 240SX. And Grant Anderson in that red BMW E36. All right, I'm getting word. Grant Anderson in that red BMW E36 gets the win, and he will advance on to tonight's top 16 competition. Grant Anderson, sponsored by Valvoline, Tire Streets, and G-Technique. Looks like we have Madison in the lead position in that white and black fuel lab Nissan 240SX, and Scott Davis in that Ford Mustang as both drivers make their way to that first outside zone. This will be the last competition for Scotty D in that Mustang, and he is just way back there. Unfortunately, Scotty D needs to try to play catch up as Madison is just putting a commanding lead run down. Derek Madison from Bethalto, Illinois, in that white Fuel Lab 240SX with about 900 horsepower. Wow, Scotty D just unfortunately not in the pocket where he needed to be. Really needs to try to step up on his lead run. Scotty D, if you have a Mustang and you want to throw an LS in it, you want to drift it, you want to check out Scotty D because he provides all those extreme angle kits for the Ford Mustang platform. So make sure you support our drifters as they not just come out here, throw down, and put a ton of money, blood, sweat, and tears on the line. And to be able to provide this to the audience that are here live, we can also put blood, sweat, and tears in this lab, I guess you could say, to try to provide these parts, these excellent parts for those Mustang vehicles. So check them out if you have a Mustang. If you want to throw an LS, obviously, here at LS Fest, that's what we want to see inside the engine bay. LS swap the world. Scotty D, the local boy here, coming to us from Bowling Green, Kentucky. About 430 horsepower. Sponsored by Brian Tooley Racing, Renegade Race Fuel, Holley Performance. Been drifting for about 8 years. Loves Holley LS Fest East because it's in his backyard. All right, again, Scotty D's last event in this Ford Mustang as both cars make their way down the straight. Scotty D looking much better in that lead position, riding that first outer zone wall, doing an excellent job. Unfortunately for him, Derek Madison is not too far behind in the chase position, trying to apply that pressure. It looks like almost a whole other ball game. Scotty D really on fire this time in the lead position. I don't know, maybe he was suffering mechanical failure or something was going on in the vehicle last round, but give it up for Scotty D and Derek Madison as they make their way off the course. to his vehicle. We saw John Temple in practice suffer a mechanical failure. And for this battle, Derek Madison gets the win. Derek Madison in that black and white Nissan 240SX is going to get the win, advance on to tonight's top 16. Derek Madison coming to us from Bethalto, Illinois in that Fuel Lab Nissan 240SX, that white and black Fuel Lab. He will advance on to tonight's top 16 competition. Unfortunately for Scotty D, well, actually, it's not unfortunate. I mean, Scotty D is planning to come back even harder with his new build. So this was the last competition, I believe, last event in that Ford Mustang. So we look forward to see what he's going to bring out next year. Hooman and Zielinski warming up their tires. Hooman coming to us from Nashville, Tennessee in that Nissan 350Z with about 850 horsepower. It says he's sponsored by Harbor Freight, Kansei Wheels, Monster Clutch. That's a sponsorship rate, right? He's going to be doing the battle against Zielinski. Collin Zielinski from Chicago, Illinois in that purple S14, that gold wing, about 850 horsepower. So here we go. Collin out front. Hooman not too far behind us. Both drivers attack that first outside zone. Collin filling out that first outside zone, almost on the wall, all the way across the course. But Hooman is there with him, step for step, in that 370Z. Both drivers attack that second outside zone. And Collin Zielinski really looks like he's laying down the hammer as just billowing smoke. But Hooman Rahimi is right there with him, step by step, applying that pressure. Give it up for Collin and Hooman as they make their way off the course. Excellent run, both drivers. Very hard-fought battles. It'll be interesting to see how the second half of this battle plays out. Hooman Rahimi says, "I'm only Hooman." Comes from Nashville, Tennessee, on 370Z with about 850 horsepower. He said if he wins, his plan is just to chug some beers. Wants to make sure everybody has a great time, and he said it's you want to really make him happy. He just wants to see everybody smile. If everybody just smile as he goes by, smile and wave, it'll make his day. Collin Zielinski in the chase position, 850 horsepower. Rocking up the tires, sponsored by Extreme Graphics. Several different Holley parts, sponsored by Power Stop Brakes. Been in the industry for about 6 years. Loves the part availability on the LS platform. Says they're just overall badass. as, whoa, look at Collin. Surging in for an attack, almost door to door with Hooman as they make their way through that first outside zone. Hooman's losing a bumper. That's okay. He doesn't need that. As they make their way through that second outside zone, leaving a little deposit there in the second outside zone is Hooman leaving his bumper there as both drivers transition into that third and final outer zone. Hooman running really wide and not phasing Collin Zielinski whatsoever. Excellent run by both drivers. Watch the replay here. Look at Collin. Amazing job in that chase position. What do you guys think? You think Hooman got it? You think Collin got it? Or one more time? Well, you guys got a shot. One more time. One more time. That's you guys are great. I love when I get the crowd participation. LS Fest East. Best. Biggest and baddest. Hooman Rahimi gets the win. Hooman Rahimi gets the win, taking out Collin Zielinski. Carter out the front. Davis in the chase. Back to the first bracket as they down this way. Derek Carter out front. Jack Davis in the chase position. Derek Carter on that wall doing an excellent job. Jack Davis right there with him step by step, but my goodness, Derek Carter just laying down the hammer as he makes his way out of that first outside zone. And Jack Davis is all over Carter. My goodness. Barely a few feet in between both vehicles as they transition into that third and final outer zone. Give it up for Derek Carter and Jack Davis. Wow, that was an excellent battle. Derek Carter, called Drift Daddy from Tennessee. 550 horsepower. Power down to the ground. Get him up at Drift Daddy 86 on social media. He's out here to take that opening spot. High and Riggs. Of course, he's smoking hot white Kelly. I'm not saying that. He said that, just so everybody's clear. I'm not saying he said that. All right, here we go. Davis is out front. Carter will get chased. Jack Davis from Bixby, Oklahoma, really putting a gap between him and Carter. Carter starting to surge forward now through that first outside zone, but Jack Davis is completely filling out that first outside, doing an excellent job, laying down the hammer as both cars transition into that second outer zone. Derek Carter starting to reel in Jack Davis. Jack Davis is just keeping that gap in between both vehicles. This may be what he needs in order to seal a victory here. Just one more time battle. Give it up for Jack Davis and Derek Carter. BMW, FDM Racing, Motorsports. At Jack _ Davis _ social media. He loves both. As we all do. Said he wouldn't be here without the help from his friends and his family. And as you watch the replay, you can tell he is just having a blast. But it does look like Jack Davis is going to get the win in that BMW. Jack Davis getting the win. BMW E36 from Oklahoma advanced on to the top 16. And we have, I can already see Ryan Acevedo in the ISR Performance 3. ISR 350Z. Ryan already putting a gap between him and Jeff as they make their way through that first outside zone. Ryan extremely aggressive, attacking that first outside zone, laying down the hammer, tons of smoke. Here comes Jeffrey, closing that gap, almost door to door through that second outside zone. Both drivers doing everything they can to take the victory. Jeffrey diving in for the attack. Ryan not phased whatsoever. Get him for Ryan Acevedo and Jeffrey Baird. That was, wow, that was very exciting. I was watching the replay. The only thing I can really pick apart here is Jeffrey. He really needed to apply that pressure earlier on in the race there as Ryan just kind of ran away down the straight. Of course, as you see Jeffrey Baird doing what he needs to close that gap. Shot walk around the course and able to, in order to gain proximity. Let's see what happens as Wilbur Ryan Acevedo from Jacksonville, Florida, Nissan 350Z, sponsored by Acevedo, utilizing seatbelt tires. Also partnering up with Ryan Racing, ISR Performance, Locals Pub, DC Racing. Find him on social media at Ryan Acevedo. Holley LS Fest Jeffrey out front, Ryan much more aggressive in the chase position. Wow, Ryan all over Jeffrey Baird through that first outside zone. Jeffrey laying down a hammer, trying to pull away from Ryan, not able to shake Ryan whatsoever as they come. Whoa, oh no, mechanical failure. Oh, we had some smoke coming out of the hood. So he did pull off the track, thankfully. It doesn't look like we'll have any oil spill on the course. Ryan Acevedo able to maintain control of that vehicle. Jeffrey definitely. I mean, these drivers are they're just putting the hammer down. I mean, these engines, it's one thing I'll tell you about this vehicle is they get suspension, I mean, they were paying off the red one. Take that momentum all the way to the top. Will he be able to take out our returning champion, Jonathan Napier? If you weren't here last night, you didn't hear me earlier. I want to make sure all you guys know Jonathan Napier is our returning champion. He's actually won the LS Fest East champion the last 2 years in a row. But he's in a borrowed car. Will he be able to take the #1 spot in a borrowed car? And so originally the battle was supposed to be Jonathan Temple versus Gorke. Jonathan Temple suffered a kill. Kevin Gorke take his bye run, so that's going to secure his spot in top 16. Kevin Gorke, unfortunately, Temple not able to make the repairs necessary to get back out into competition. Kevin Gorke is going to advance on to the top 16 competition this evening. Kevin from Houston, Texas. Chevy Corvette. Says he got about 450 horsepower. He said 427 plus or minus a couple hundred. So I guess whatever that means. Sponsored by Rent Spec Wraps, Redline Oil, D&D Performance Interiors, as well as Silva. He's been drifting for about 10 years. And he said he came out here and started always support the sport. Kevin also said, come say hi to his team. We'd love to bridge the gap between simulator racing and real life. So if you are into sim rig racing, you want to go by and talk to Kevin Gorke and his crew. But right now, we're going to focus our attention on the track because we have Jake Wise in that lead position, that yellow and red Nissan 240 SX. He's going to be going up against Martin. It's like a flat black with the red tribal graphic on his Nissan 240. Cody Barton coming to us from Cecilia, Kentucky. about 400 horsepower, running 10 to tires. Sponsored by Moto Mortgage, Courtesy Cadillac, and Mad Fab and Performance. 5-6 as they make their way down the course. Jake Wise just leaving Cody at the line almost. Cody getting too much angle, making a major correction through that first outside zone. May have to seal his own fate, because Jake Wise is known to be extremely consistent in that lead position. Jake Wise in that Fortunato Nissan 240S completely filling out that second outside zone, making a transition. And Martin trying to dive in for an attack to apply the pressure. Might be just too late. Jake Wise is just a beast when he gets behind the wheel. Rocketing down the straight, attacking that first outside zone. I believe Jake Wise was our number one finisher in Texas. Call Jake the Ripper. Jake the Ripper Wise from Lemoore, Texas. He is definitely ripping those tires off the road. Don't even have a chance. All right, here we go. Martin out front. Jake Wise giving chase. Jake Wise already applying the pressure through that first outside zone as Cody's doing a much better job this time around, but Jake the Ripper Wise is just on fire. Kind of matching his livery there. That Fortunato Nissan 240SX all over the door of Martin as both drivers make that final transition. Give it up for Cody Martin and Jake Wise. Jake Wise not leaving it in the hand of the judges. He wants to make sure he seals Martin's fate. He may just have done so. Again, Jake Wise, sponsored by Scott Garage, Holley Performance, Fortunato. You'll find him at jwise.3 on YouTube. A lot of these drivers have YouTube pages and Instagram. Really support, reach out, see them in the pits. A ton of information. They can help you develop the program or just, they're doing it, how to set up the vehicles. Wealth of information. All these drivers build this Jake said he loves to come out, he can burn out some smoke on tires, loves the vibes, loves the competition. A lot of these drivers said start on the sim race. If you want to get into drifting, get that muscle memory down. All right, Jake Wise gets the win. Jake the Ripper Wise gets the win, coming to us from Texas. We'll see him in this evening's competition. We're working away fairly quickly. We have Lewis Lanz here almost in the top 32 competition. Lewis Lanz will be giving chase. Tyler Berry in that lead position. Tyler Berry in that white and green BMW E36. A new look this year as both drivers make their way. Tyler Berry attacking that first outside zone right on the wall. Lewis Lanz right there with him. Super aggressive in the chase position. Almost barely tapping Tyler Berry with his front tire. Tyler Berry able to create a little gap there as they transition through the infield, but Lewis Lanz is surging forward again for the attack. Tyler Berry definitely has his work cut out for him as Lewis Lanz is all over him. Wow, put your hands together for these drivers. I mean, that was an amazing run. Watching back on the replay here, Tyler Berry doing everything he needs to be doing. Look at Lewis just almost tapping his door with his front tire. Excellent job, both drivers. Lewis Lanz representing Venezuela. He actually lives in my neck of the woods down in South Florida. Lewis Lanz, called the tire guy, that Chevy Corvette. Lewis Lanz in that Zinova blue Chevy Corvette out front. Tyler Berry in that white and green BMW E36. Whoa, look at Tyler. He's like, well, yeah, I got something for you. Here, take that. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. What is going on? Tyler Berry. Is he bullying Lewis around? He's like, oh, yeah, you going to tap me, buddy? Well, take this. Oh, no. Tyler, what's going on? Wow, that was insane. A lot of craziness going on here. If you watch replay. Lanz trying to fill out that first outside zone. Tyler, they're really surging forward. Oh my goodness, there was a little bit of contact there. So the judges are going to have to analyze that and see if was Lanz going to slow up a little bit, come towards the end of the wall, or was that Tyler Baird? Yeah, and I'm getting official result. Tyler Berry is going to get the win. Tyler Berry going to get the win. Tyler Berry coming to us from Knoxville, Tennessee, that BMW E36, that white and green BMW from those Kenda tires. Sponsored by Kenda Tires. Stick prints in Collin. Sponsored by Zielinski Parts, drifting self-made motorsports at Response 8. And at the line right now, this is the man you need to watch in that white Bull Sully Racing Nissan 240SX. That's Jonathan Darren. Jonathan Darren had a mechanical failure, but thankfully, Cardoso brought a backup vehicle. So Jonathan Darren, our two-time reigning champ for the last 2 years, Jonathan Darren has been able to take home the #1 spot. So the target is on that man's back. So not only does he have to fend off all the attackers, he's going to have to do it in somebody else's vehicle, but he is definitely capable. Very similar. This is the last battle of top 32. Here we go. Jonathan Darren out front. Abbott right there with him. Oh my goodness, Abbott almost going into the side of Darren's vehicle, causing him to make a major correction. Not phasing Jonathan Darren whatsoever. Jonathan Darren showing us the champion that he is as he completely fills out all the zones and not letting anything phase him. He is in the zone, through the zones. Give it up for Jonathan Darren and Abbott as they make their way off the course. Wow, we can watch the replay here now on the live stream. Abbott just dives in a little too aggressive here. Nicholas Abbott from Henderson, North Carolina, in that Nissan 240SX, chasing down Jonathan Darren. Abbott sponsored by ISR Performance and Junior Racing, JSP2 and State Drills, and KBE Body Kits. Said if he wins, he'd pay off credit cards, but right now, it seems like he has a disadvantage. He did say that he may be the underdog, but he's just here to put on a show. Put on a show, and he has done. All right, last battle of the top 32. Nicholas Abbott out front. Jonathan Darren in a borrowed vehicle. Going to chase him down as both drivers attack that first outside zone. Abbott, nice smooth initiation to that first outside zone. Jonathan Darren right there, step by step, giving him a little room. Now starting to apply that pressure. Abbott really laying down the hammer, turning that vehicle into a smoke machine. ISR Performance Nissan 350Z, Nissan 240SX. But look at Darren. Knows what to do in every situation. Give it up for these two drivers, Abbott and Jonathan Darren. Looks like Abbott may have took himself out of competition. That chase run, the first half of this battle, wasn't doing himself any favors. But it does look like Jonathan Darren gets the win. Jonathan Darren gets the win. It looks like that wraps up our top 32 competition. Want to shout out to Holley. And this gives you guys plenty of time. Go check out the drivers in the pits. If you guys want to start drifting, you want to get into whatever form it is, whether you want to get involved in being a pit crew member, whatever it is with drifting, reach out to these drivers. Make sure you're taking pictures, you're supporting them, you're tagging them in all your media. We look forward to seeing you guys later on this evening where we do the top 16 battle. Again, you can check it on the LS Fest Facebook page or the Drift Sessions YouTube. So guys, stay tuned. We look forward to seeing you back here later this evening. Until then.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen sealed beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more. The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at holley.com.
Redesigned from the ground up, MSD's Ultra 6A boasts a significant size reduction, making it 60% smaller, 50% lighter, and 35% more efficient. Find out about MSD's latest products at holley.com.
I was broke, pocket full of lit. Now I'm on the fence, getting paid like a underdog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen sealed beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more. The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at holley.com.